Did you know? Burials, funerary rites, are one of the defining characteristics of being human. Archaeology shows us that throughout time, burials have usually been a moment of ceremony, reflection, and highly significant acts. Typically, the more wealthy or socially important funerals are most visible to archaeologists, but often even the most simple of burials is replete with meaning. In the modern era in Britain, one of the grandest funerary processions we can bestow is the state funeral, usually reserved for royalty or high-ranking officials, such as ex-prime ministers. When we think of kings and queens of England, William the Conqueror, or Bill the Basher as my geography teacher called him, is certainly foremost in our minds. Born illegitimate, William rose to be the Duke of Normandy, and with the death of Edward the Confessor, battled with his successor Harold over the throne of England. In 1066, at the Battle of Hastings, recorded here in the Bayeux Tapestry, William beat Harold and became the King of England. For many, this marks the beginning of England and Britain as we know it today. The coming of the Normans marked the beginning of a succession of royal houses, shaping the monarchy and indeed Queen Elizabeth as we know her today. The Normans also brought architecture from across the known world to Britain. The famous Tower of London was begun in William's reign. In other words, if anyone was going to get a long, drawn-out, pomp-filled ceremony upon their death, surely William would qualify. On the 9th of September, 1087, only 21 years after becoming king, William died in France. It was William's wish to be buried in the Abbaye aux Hommes, a foundation church of his. Indeed, his funeral was actually interrupted by a local citizen claiming that he had despoiled the land in order to build the abbey. The funeral was attended by bishops and abbots from across Normandy, and also William's son, Henry. As William's corpse was lowered into his tomb, it was found to be too large for the space provided. They attempted to squeeze him in, only to have him, well, pop. Foul, putrid liquid spread throughout the church, causing many of the attendants to feel, well, at least a little bit ill. What followed, by all accounts, was probably the quickest royal funeral of all time. They just wanted to seal him up and get out of there. Today, William's grave is marked simply with a slab installed in the 19th century. So it seems great deeds, history-making and infamy are no guarantee of a long funeral. It all depends on the people around you. Indeed, there's an old archaeological adage, you don't bury yourself, and by the sounds of it, William might be glad that he didn't.